What up, everybody? It's KROG, and I'm going to talk some sports with you. My Toronto Blue Jays lost 2-0 in Game 2 of the 2023 American League Wildcard Series against the Minnesota Twins. Now, before I get into that, I know there's going to be people saying, oh, the Minnesota Twins had a worse record than the Blue Jays. The Minnesota Twins played in a weaker division than the Blue Jays. So what? Look at some of the overall stats. They scored more runs than the Blue Jays. They gave up fewer runs than the Blue Jays. But me being the optimist, I say, you know what? Blue Jays, they should give them a good run. And they didn't. They didn't at all. In baseball, if you get outscored, if you lose 3-1 and 2-0 for an aggregate score of 5-1 over 2 games, that's usually not too bad, because baseball, especially, if you don't have a good game, it's not that common to see, 7, 8, 9, 10, even like 12, 13 runs go on the board. No big deal. But they got their asses kicked in such an embarrassing way. It's not like the Texas series where they got outscored, 36-10 or 36-9 in a 4-game sweep back at the Sky Dome. Yes, I'm not calling it the Rogers Center, even though it would sound like I own it. I don't. I'd sell it if I did. But they lost to Texas in 4 games in September, and it was bad. It was embarrassing. People weren't even showing up to the ballpark. They were just like, no, we're done. And then, of course, they go on a little run, and they make the playoffs. You can argue they backdoored, but they made it. And I watched part of the game yesterday, and I said, okay, game 1, 3-1. The bats were cold. It's fine. We can do this. Game 2 comes around. Jose Barrios is on the mound. He's throwing a gem against his old team, the team that he got traded from out of to go to Toronto. The Twins traded him to Toronto back in 2021 for Simeon Woods Richardson and Austin Martin. How are they working out for the Twins? Oh, wait, they're really not. So I guess the Blue Jays got better of that deal. But that doesn't matter, because we're talking about 2023 now, and Barrios is on the mound, pitching a gem. He's blowing through the order. First 2 times, nothing but smoke. Pure smoke. Goes up, does his thing again, and it's looking good. And then he gets into 1, walks the first batter of the 4th inning, and John Schneider gives him the hook. I don't know if it was the game plan. I know of analytics. Fuck your analytics. If you have a pitcher that is pitching his ass off and it's just blowing through the order, throwing nothing but pure smoke, you leave him in there. I don't give a shit what the analytics say. I don't care. I'm old school like that. Let him blow out his arm. Let him do it. Who cares? Because you have a guy who is pitching to save your season. He's killing the opposition. I think I didn't check the stats before he came on. I probably should have. But I'm pretty sure he had like 6 or 7 Ks. He was just lights out, and they blow it. They take him out. And I remember I texted my buddy. I was texting. I don't have his number, but I was messaging my buddy Jamie Searle from high school. What up, Jamie? I was messaging him, and I said, dude, what the hell are they doing? Like, we were perplexed by this. And I even said, like, Jamie's 2-year-old daughter would know better than not to do this. 3-1 in game 1. I can understand that. Kevin Gausman, I didn't like his answer afterwards. Oh, I guess they figured me out. Yeah, okay, you know what? You've struggled against the Minnesota Twins in your career. But that doesn't mean that you have to just cave in like that. They looked like... I listened to some of their media post-game last night and some of their media from today before the game, and they already sound like they were defeated. Somebody asked Matt Chapman about his upcoming free agency, and kind of not really about the free agent, but it wasn't anything to do with the current game or the the series or the situation the Jays were in. It was about, would you return to Toronto when your contract's up after the World Series? No. Matt Chapman, ice cold bat, great defense at third base. You gotta just say, bud, I'm just here to play playoff baseball. I want nothing more than to win, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't answer your stupid question right now because I'm trying to save my team's season so we can play tomorrow and hopefully we can move on to the ALDS and play Baltimore. Didn't happen. They played like losers. I mentioned earlier how, yeah, you lost by a combined score of 5-1 over 2 games, which is nothing in baseball. And I've just never seen a team play so defeated and so dumb. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., what are you doing? What the fuck was that? They had runners on, I think it was the 6th inning. They had runners on 2nd and 3rd. Runners in scoring position. They had their best, most consistent hitter in Bo Bichette up at the plate. And he got the bat ripped out of his hands because fucking Vladdy, once again, not using his head. Cut your dreadlocks, Vladdy, because they're definitely cutting off some circulation in that fucking brain of yours. Standing out there, got picked off. How the hell do you get picked off? How? How do you get picked off in a winner-take-all, or not winner-take-all, sorry, in an elimination game for your team, and you do stupid shit like that when you're down 2-0, and your best hitter is up? This is the moment in the game. This is the moment in the game where you're going to take over because your leadoff guy got on, you're the best power hitter the team has, and the best overall hitter, and probably the best player, because you're not the face of the franchise, Vladdy. I'm sorry you're not. You're too much of a fucking idiot at times with your stupid peanut butter commercials with George Springer and your dreadlocks, which, okay, I don't have anything but against dreadlocks. They just look really hard to maintain, and I don't know, my head itches when I see somebody with dreadlocks. But anyways, what the hell are you doing? How the hell? That is so inexcusable to get caught off in a pickoff like that in a game where you need to win to save your season. The approach at the plate yesterday in the 8th inning, I know I'm bouncing all over the place, was horrendous. This was, how? How do you get 2 of your best hitters out on 3 pitches? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're done. How? No effort. No, not even a trace of killer instinct. Just soft. It just seems like they're like the way the world seems to be this way, where they want things handed to them. And they get easily offended if it's not given to them. That's what the Blue Jays were playing, woke baseball. Woke baseball. How about they wake up instead of being woke? How about they wake up because they looked like they were asleep out there? That was embarrassing. And today, more of the same. And again, I'm going back to John Schneider. The hell are you doing, man? I don't care what the analytics say. I don't care what the current trend is. I don't care. One of the best things about baseball is when you have a guy on the mound and he's just throwing smoke, blowing by batter after batter after batter after batter, making them look like children. And that's what he was doing. He was fooling the Minnesota Twins left, right, and center. Who are you expecting? You expecting a fastball? Change up. Boom. Strike 3, you're done, bitch. Sit down. He was rolling. And he got pulled because he was going to face the order for, the 3rd time? Fuck right off. That is horseshit. Anybody that has any sort of knowledge about the game or is even, been a fan at one point and I don't know whether the strikes or the steroids or whatever persuaded you not to follow baseball. And you do that. You take your best, or not the best, you take the guy that is just throwing lights out and you toss him after, send him to the showers after 47 pitches. because you want Minnesota to get some lefties out of their lineup. Why? Why? It backfires. Every single time it backfires, especially in the playoffs. Blake Snell, Game 6 of the 2020 COVID Bubble World Series, Rays and Dodgers, having the game of his life, pitching his ass off, making the LA Dodgers look stupid, probably going to force the Game 7. Winner take all in Tampa. They're a good team this year. They were a good team 3 years ago. They could have easily won that Game 7. But Kevin Cash, listening to analytics, took Blake Snell out. Blake Snell looks at him like, what the fuck, man? What are you doing? Why are you taking me out? What happens? Dodgers scored 3 runs in that inning. I'm pretty sure they scored 3 runs before the pitcher that came on to relieve Blake Snell even got an out. Same thing happened with Barrios. Kikuchi comes in, and I've been hard on Kikuchi. I ripped Kikuchi, mainly last year when he was shit. Let's just say it. He was not good. But he was good this year. For the most part, he was probably the Jays' most consistent pitcher year, like from start to finish. And he comes in and no fault of his own. Tough situation, especially for a starter. People don't realize, like I saw people online saying he struggled. That is a hard spot for a starting pitcher to start all year and then to be asked to go in relief, to come out of the bullpen. That is extremely difficult to do. That fucks with the pitcher's psyche. You don't understand, when you're starting pitcher, you warm up, you train differently than you do when you're a relief pitcher, because relief pitchers are used more often. So, you got to preserve yourself as you're a starter. And then when, I know winner take all, Chris Bassett was also in the bullpen just in case. You can't do it. It's pathetic. I actually got sent out here because I was too grumpy. My girlfriend, I love her so much, but she's like, babe, you're kind of grumpy. I'm like, I'll go outside then. Here I am. And I said, you know what? She's still gonna get to hear this because I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna Steve Dangle myself. Maybe I'll do more videos of these because people seem to think my sports rants are kind of funny. Probably there's only like 7 of you that actually do. If that, I'm being generous. It's probably 8 or 9 too many. Yes, I know what I said. It's a joke. Self-deprecating. Probably nobody thinks these are funny or amusing. But it's something to do. And I'm pissed off. My Toronto Blue Jays, they may as well have lost 15-0. It would have probably been less embarrassing than the effort they put in today. No fundamentals. No baseball IQ whatsoever. None. It's just the stupidest plays I've seen. Swinging at balls way in the dirt or way out of the strike zone. Swinging at just garbage pitches. Making stupid base running decisions. Not being in good position defensively. Maybe being over a little bit. Get a couple of those balls or something like that. But just nothing. The pitching was the best part about this. And Kevin Gausman got lit up yesterday. And he has struggled in his career against Minnesota. I don't know what it is about the Twins, but he has struggled against Minnesota, especially in Minnesota. This car goes by. But that was inexcusable. His demeanor after, I get to figure me out. I guess the book's out on me. And what if the Blue Jays won tonight? And what if they won tomorrow? Because that's when Game 3 would have been. And then they got Houston. Yikes. You think Houston's going to be banging on garbage cans? They're like, we got Kevin Gausman figured out. Is what he does. This is the book on him. You can't just cave into defeat like that. That's a losing mentality, and that's why the Blue Jays, as much as I love them, are a losing franchise. They have a loser's mindset. They just cannot, if that were me, if I were Kevin Gausman, I would have said, look, I sucked. I don't know what it is, but I'll figure it out. I wouldn't have just said, yeah, that's basically what it is. I'm a 2-pitch pitcher. And then today, John Schneider, I know you've made a lot of mistakes, and I had your back for most of this, but that was flat out inexcusable. I even wrote a Facebook status, because I don't use X or Twitter or whatever the fuck it is, or any other real social media aside from Facebook, because I'm old school like that. But I wrote, if this backfires, you're dead to me. And before I could even say dead to me, Minnesota got their 2 runs. Could have been a lot worse. And I don't blame Kikuchi for that. But that is inexcusable. You have a guy, a pitcher who's starting and is throwing lights out, just blowing heat by the opposition batters. You keep him in as long as you can. You only take him out after 47 pitches if he blows his elbow or has some other injury, gets hit with a comebacker or something. I don't know. But that's inexcusable. So I'm sorry I'm outside. I got a little boot from Paige. Oh, I didn't get the boot, but I felt obligated to go outside. So anyways, that's it. The Toronto Blue Jays pissed me off. They pissed me off all year. They can't hit with runners in scoring position. Wait for this car to go by. Holy fuck. It's like a transport or something. They suck. They suck. That is so... I'm done. Done. Thank fuck I don't have to worry about baseball for another 6 or 7 months. Because I can't do it. Blue Jays, you need to get some runners and score. You need to get guys that can hit with runners in scoring position. My buddy Will is a softball player. Get him up. He's big. He's got tattoos. He looks like he could play in the big leagues. Get him up. Get somebody. Anybody. Just, God. Just. Like I said, I might do more of these because I got a feeling I'm going to be really frustrated and pissed off. My football team, I don't really follow football much anymore. Never really did. It was always my 4th favorite out of the big 4 American pro sports in North America. I can't even talk right now. I'm so jumbled. But yeah, my Packers suck. My Red Wings are in the middle of like a 78-year rebuild, it seems. I like Steve Yzerman. He's my favorite hockey player of all time. He's the reason why I cheer for Detroit. But, some of the moves he made this offseason. And we got Justin Hall for 3 years. Terrible. Yep, Ben Sherratt. He needs to be a lot better. Otherwise, he's terrible too. Their contracts expire the same day, July 1st, 2026. Oh, it's a long ways away. My Blue Jays are going to Blue Jays, and my Raptors, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. I have no idea. I have no idea the identity of the Raptors this year. I don't know who's going to be the go-to guy. Guess Pascal, Scotty Barnes. I don't know. I don't know what to think about him. But yeah. Blue Jays, be better. Learn to hit with runners in fucking scoring position, you assholes. You piss me off. This is probably the most frustrating year I can remember being a Blue Jays fan, probably since maybe 2017, the year after they had their back-to-back appearances in the ALCS, and they still had basically the same team minus Edwin Encarnacion, which, that's a topic for another day about why they let him go. But yeah, that team, that team came into the league or into the season with high hopes, and 76 and 86. Weren't even over 500 at all in the season. Terrible. Pathetic. So there's that. Then probably 2013 as well. That was the year going in, or in the offseason prior, so 2012. That's when they made the R.A. Dickey trade, which that's when they acquired Mark Burley and Jose Reyes from I can't remember. I think they were Miami then. I think they had switched over to the Miami Marlins by then. And everybody's like, World Series favorites. I was like, let's just see where we get, or where we go. And they went. And, you know, you can talk about last year's collapse against Seattle in Game 2. 8-1. But how is this one game? These 2 games in Minnesota summarize everything that's wrong with this team. Everything. How stupid they are. How they just lack basic fundamentals in baseball. How they can't hit with runners in scoring position. I get up and go for a pee when the Jays have runners in scoring position, especially if there's less than 2 outs, because I know they're going to screw it up. They had the bases loaded tonight with nobody out, and they got fuck all done with it. I'm going to knock it over my phone here, but anyways, I'm going to go inside. I'm starting to get ate by the last bit of mosquitoes that we're going to have, because it's October 4th, 2023, and the Toronto Blue Jays have shut the bed. They're done for the year. And another thing that's kind of ironic. Want to know what happened 7 years ago today? Speaking of Edwin, hit his shot. 7 years ago today was the American League wildcard game, not series. They just had a game back then. The AL wildcard game between the Jays and Baltimore. Get the fuck out of here. 7 years ago today, Edwin went deep in the 11th inning to hit a 3-run bomb off of Ubaldo Jimenez. That was a happy time. 7 years later, we can't even score a goddamn run, and we get 1 run across 2 games in the American League wildcard series. This was pathetic. So if anybody sees me in the Blue Jays group popping off, don't call me a troll, because I don't care. The Blue Jays are trolls. Because guess what? They trolled the whole fan base. A lot of people said this team was going to win the World Series this year. I didn't really think they were that good. I thought they would make the playoffs. And they did. And guess what happened? They scored 1 run in 2 games. The Blue Jays are the trolls, because they trolled fans into thinking they were actually going to do something this year and play some meaningful baseball. I guess 2 games in October is meaningful, but it's not at all what a lot of people were hoping for. I don't know where they go with this team next year. And right now, I don't really care. Come, when spring training rolls around, I'll get excited for baseball again. But for now, I'm done. Red Wings, you start up in a week. Please just slowly put the knife in my heart this year. Don't just jam it in like you did in March the last 2 years. Just do it slowly, please. All right. This was kind of fun. I might do this again. Who knows? All right. Talk to you later. Peace.